Hi, I've had some requests to do a video about relationships. This is a very broad subject. We could talk about our relationship with our mother and father, our brothers and sisters, our children, um, people at work, co-workers. The main one that I really want to focus on is the relationship with our husband or wife, our significant other, our boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever you would choose to call it. It's a basic foundation that has to be created between two souls. One of the things I found, if there's already a divine connection there, then you truly have something to work with. And even when you do have that, there's several factors that we have to look at. Is you have to make a commitment to that relationship and to the other person. You have to make the effort on a daily basis to work at the relationship. Most relationships fail for the lack of those two things, and the third one is communication. Is you have to have a very open communication. You have to open up your heart and be willing to make yourself vulnerable with the other person. And that's one of the things that's really scary to people. You really have to give up your independence, and I'm not saying you're not independent of each other, you are, but you have to be willing to plan your lives together and actually become a couple. And a lot of times people are not able to accomplish that or do that, or they're not willing to do that. And so there's another reason that the relationship doesn't work. In my past relationships, I can say I've always made a 100% effort and tried to put the relationship first with the person that I loved. One of the difficulties in that is, there's a balance in life. You have to work, you have to do other things. But there's that place that I believe you start by making that personal relationship with your wife or your husband as the first priority. And from there, you work to do everything else together. Raising children you do together. If you have businesses, you can do that together. Most people are afraid to make the commitment. Most people are afraid to communicate or to open up their heart or to become vulnerable. And that vulnerability is where you find the love and the tenderness and compassion. And for me, personally, I've gone through a lot in that, and I'm not saying that I've ever been perfect, because I'm not. I've made lots of mistakes. Even in this video, this is a place for me because there's a deep love that I desire. There's a deep love I have for someone. And no matter what happens in my life and in the life of the person that I love, it doesn't change how much I love them. What I've found is, and this video is being difficult for me to make because I'm trying to be very careful not to overshare my own personal life. And I've done marriage counseling for the last 30 years, and couples counseling, relationship counseling of every kind. And there's just those factors in there that, if two people have that spiritual connection, and you can't break that, you can't make it go away. One of the things I've learned for myself is, when you love somebody, I've tried to share it's like breathing. If I stop breathing, then, I'm going to die. But you can't stop breathing on your own. You can hold your breath for so long, and then you're going to have to take a breath. But I found that true love, that unconditional love for someone is like that. That you love them the same as breathing. You can't stop, nor do you really want to stop. That's what I find with myself. When I love somebody really deeply, I don't want to stop loving them. I really don't want anybody else. And then allowing the other person the space to grow and the space to come into themselves. And sometimes that's what it takes. It takes a separation, and you both grow, and you're able to come back together and find that you're both willing to put the effort into the relationship. You're both willing to make the relationship first. But I can share from all honesty, no matter what you're going through, you have to look at the relationship with your husband and your wife or your children or whoever it is, your co-workers, because a relationship is like the number 8. continually circling back into itself. And both people have to make the effort for the relationship. One person cannot carry it. And you have to come from a place of complete unconditional love. You have to be willing to forgive no matter what. And over the past 2 years, I've learned so much about forgiveness and compassion and understanding, about being patient. Was I able to live the last 2 years with my sweetheart patiently all the time? No. Was I tender all the time? No. But I did make the effort in my heart and tried every minute of every day. And I'm even doing so now. Making this video is part of it. This is every video I make is personal, but this one is more deeply personal to me because of what I've been going through. And having to let somebody go and allow them the space to grow. At the same time, that doesn't mean that I love them any less. It doesn't mean that I desire to be with anybody else. It just means I'm having to release and to let go. I've gone through the same thing with my children. Because of the spiritual path that I'm in, because of the way that I believe and the way that I want to live and I choose to live, my children didn't necessarily, all of them, want to follow in my footsteps. And so it's created a time of separation between us. I've learned a lot from that, but does it mean I love my children any less because we're not in a place to be able to communicate right now? No. I love them every day. I love them every day. I send love to them every day. I cry and I miss them. And I find this with the partner that I've had for a long time now. Every day I miss the person. Every day I cry. Every day I wish that things were different and I wish we were together. But all I can do is focus on me. And this is what I've done each time that we've had to take a time apart. I've focused on me, for me to grow, for me to learn more wisdom. And I think, honestly, that's the key to any successful relationship, is we need to focus on ourselves, not focusing on the other person and what they're doing wrong. And try to love them no matter what, and encourage them in the things they do right, and don't focus on the things that they do wrong. And in the same sense with ourselves, we have to do the same thing. Forgiveness is the key, communication, understanding, acceptance, and commitment, and effort. Without the effort, none of it works. So I would encourage each one of you, if you have somebody in your life you deeply love, let them know. And if you want that to work, you want to be with them, don't be afraid to tell them. Let them know. And make the commitment and the effort so that the relationship can be successful. No relationship's going to be successful unless both people are working at it. That's one thing I've learned in life, is you cannot carry anyone. So I hope, I think I'll maybe make this like relationships part 1. And if any of you have any questions that you would like me to address, then please let me know. And I'll try to do so both in articles and maybe some more videos about relationships. But, life is all about relationships. That's why we're here. So it makes sense that that's the most difficult part of life. And it's complicated because we as people are complicated. And, I try to keep these videos to 7-8 minutes. I was trying to do a little bit less, but I hope this helps. And one of the things another thing we have to work on, staying grounded and calm and peaceful and balanced. I'm continually working in that on myself, and I hope that reflects out. I know I can look back at the first videos I did, and I was nervous about all of it, and I haven't done one for a few weeks now, and it's just a place of I'm really working on grounding myself more and becoming more calm and confident in what I'm doing. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I'll say namaste and aloha here from Maui, and I hope each one of you find a little bit more peace each day. Aloha.